Okay, video number 2. This is your disclaimer now if you are sensitive to topics such as self-harm or drug use. Not heavy, but enough to trigger someone. So if you are sensitive to that kind of topic, I would advise you to live. And this is my story, like my experience with all this stuff, and this video will basically be based off of my experience with self-harm and some type of drugs and the addictions that I have had. I know this is interesting for a second video, I know, but like I'm bored and I feel like sharing my story with y'all. So anyway, let's begin. So all of this started when I was around 10 years old. I am much older than that now. I first got addicted to smoking tobacco, cigarettes, all that kind of stuff, and it was really funny my first time because I was smoking at the opposite end from where you're supposed to smoke it from. I was lighting the orange bit. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I've learned my lesson, and I've learned I have to smoke it the other way around, and I suck on the orange bit and not the white bit. But anyways, I'm doing that a lot with my hands. I have a feeling that might be weird, but yeah, I just got out of that habit. I just stopped smoking. Last time I did smoke was around 2-3 months ago, and I'm glad I've gotten out of that because it just feels so much better, like so much better. Also, in my last video where I said like I might edit the video, I did edit the video if you didn't notice. But anyway, and then my next addiction was vaping, which I haven't gotten out of, and I will advise you kids watching, if you are watching, don't start. You can't stop unless you put like a whole bunch of dedication into it. Like, I will quit doing this, I was so dedicated that I will throw these away and blah 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 blah. But anyways, I still haven't gotten out of that. It's been like 3 years, so that's amazing. Next one would be self-harm. Pretty sure that's actually my first addiction. I still haven't gotten out of it. I've been doing it since I was like 9, and it is horrible. It just feels so relieving, but it's probably the worst thing you could do to relieve yourself. Like, there's so many other methods, like playing with stuff, you stop that right now. Anyways, playing with stuff, breathing, so many other methods. Y'all can hear my parents in the background. Anyways, I am still currently in that state where I cannot stop doing it. I've tried everything else. I've changed my medication for it because I'm pretty sure my last medication, it was for ADHD, but it was making me feel worse, and it led me to that. So that was an amazing part of my life, but yeah. And then there's drinking. I used to drink so heavily. I would finish at least a bottle around yay big in a week, and my friends would know this because sometimes they would be with me, sometimes they would witness my texts or the videos I would send them while D-R-U-N-K, I don't know how to spell, I'm dyslexic. But anyways, they would know that I was a heavy drinker at some points, but I have gotten out of heavy drinking. I have only gone to occasionally drinking, like maybe every time my parents buy alcohol, but they don't buy it much, so I only drink at least once or twice a month. And if I do drink, I will only drink little portions because I hate the feeling of being drunk. Alcohol on its own, like no mixers, makes me feel sick too. I got a notification, a timer, and it cut my video off. But anyways, it makes me feel sick to the stomach. I can't smell it, I can't taste it, or I would just want to throw up. Which is the worst thing, because sometimes my friends would invite me to drink with them, but I can't because half of them are absolutely insane and don't use mixers. So if you're like that type of person and you know that I don't want to drink, get the frick away from me, bro. But I have gotten out of most of my addictions and it feels amazing. So if you're watching this and you're currently in an addiction like drinking, smoking, vaping, self-harm in all forms, I will tell you that it feels better without it. I'm not gonna force you to. If it's keeping you alive, then I would rather do that. I would rather you do that than, I don't know, I would rather see my friend covered in scars than not at all. Is something that I've heard multiple times, but I mean it. If you need help getting out of an addiction, you can always text me, call me, whatever, send me a message. I will put my like Snapchat or Discord or Instagram up here somewhere if I do end up editing this video. If I don't, I'll probably just put it in the description down below. All of them are pretty easy to spell out and stuff in case you have trouble spelling, but I'll probably just copy it or something if I don't like edit the video. But if I do, up there. Yeah, and it's horrible to start such addictions at such an early age because I'm young. Not young, but like too young to be doing all this stuff. I'm underage. Yeah, so if you need help or if you need help with your addictions, there is numbers you can call. You could probably just look them up because I don't even know what they are, but I have texted them before, I've called them before. Like the suicide hotline, call them. They will help you if they are available, but if they're not, you can always text me, call me, and I will try to help you figure out what's going on or all those kind of things. But if not, then call other people because I might not be a reliable source. But anyways, I think that is the end of the video. I love you all so much. Bye, sweet peeps.